Bob Kerrigan for Kerrigan Estess Rankin McLeod and Thompson. There was an advertisement not too long ago, I think in a Mobile television station, where a young lawyer talked about if you've been injured by a big truck, call so-and-so, I forget what the lawyer's name, and it says he'll win. I think that's probably true. He probably would win himself. The question is, would he prevail for his clients? Why do lawyers want big truck cases? And it's because there's usually a lot of insurance, and sometimes with automobile cars, and many times with automobile cases, there's inadequate insurance to properly compensate somebody. But generally, the bigger trucking companies have very good insurance. And I think on the whole, I mean this sincerely, the truck drivers that are on the highway are driving safely. There are exceptions to that. There's a lot of discussion now about truck drivers working too long hours. I think the rule now is 14 hours. They can't go past 14 hours, but that's a long time to be involved with a truck. There are all kinds of regulations that truckers have to adhere to. There are specific log entries they must make. And more important than anything else in a truck accident is the very best experts in the world will be there for the trucking company. We'll talk about railroads sometime. They are the worst in terms of bringing in experts within 20 minutes of an accident. But trucking companies are very sophisticated in claims management. They'll have experts, engineers, or whoever on the field fast at the truck scene, usually long before we as lawyers become involved. So we have to get in later, and we get photographs of what's out there, and we put it back together best we can. But you have to understand the many, many regulations and issues involved with truck accidents. Before we started this broadcast, I talked to our producer about trucking cases, just casually talking about it, and he mentioned something that I think is really a good tip. When you are passing a truck, pass as fast as you can. Do not hang on the side. You see it on the interstate. It's like they're driving together, like they're road buddies or something, and they won't get by the truck. If you got to go 85 miles an hour, get around that truck as fast as you can. Many bad things can happen. A tire can blow, the truck could swerve, the trucker could not see you and come into your lane. Don't mess around with trucks. Like they say, don't mess with Texas. Don't mess around with trucks. Get around this truck as fast as you can and be as safe as you can. Don't tailgate trucks. You're not going to do well if you go into the back of them. You're not even going to dent their bumper, but you could get killed. Do not tailgate anybody, really, but don't tailgate trucks. The trucking regulations, the interstate trucking regulations, are complicated and extensive. And as I said, the very, very best experts are going to be out there representing the trucking company. We hire experts, and we know where good experts are, and we pay them. But it's going to be a fight, because trucking companies are highly skilled in defending cases where truck drivers have caused serious injuries or accidents. When you see a truck driver and they're driving erratically and causing a danger to the highway, a lot of times they'll have a number on the back of the truck. Call that number and report that truck and report the tag number. That helps everybody. So why do lawyers want trucking cases? Pretty simple. It's because they have adequate insurance to pay, and usually in trucking accidents we see very bad injuries, and many times we see death claims. Several years ago, not too many years ago, actually, we got one of the highest verdicts in the nation in a trucking accident in Santa Rosa County, $25 million. And it was because I think the jury felt great concern for the family of their daughter that died in the accident. And I think to an extent, we're not pleased with the way the accident happened and with the nature of the negligence, that is, the failure of the truck driver to drive carefully and to follow the rules of the road. So in a trucking accident especially, you have to have highly skilled lawyers that know what they're doing. We are board certified. There are other good lawyers around, no question about that. And if you interview other lawyers, you should ask them, how many trucking accidents have you actually had experience with and tried? How many verdicts have you gotten? Have those verdicts been upheld on appeal? Those are all good questions to ask. And for sure, if a lawyer says, well, I'm going to refer you to somebody else, understand this, that when a lawyer says that, very likely that lawyer that is referring you is going to receive a portion of the fee simply for referring you to another lawyer. So do a little homework, do your own due diligence, investigate the law firms, and then try to interview the law firms where you think the most qualified lawyers are. Bob Kerrigan for Kerrigan Estess Rankin McLeod and Thompson will be glad to evaluate your case without charge and without obligation.